is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to our man Al in Homosassa. What's going on, brother?
Isn't it wonderful? I went ahead and invested in your Tiger dollars, and I went ahead and got the gold report for a year, and also your morning your call letter and stuff like that. And I got over a 50% return in one day, not counting everything else. But I just want to thank you. Tom's not perfect, but he tells you how to put your stops in, and he keeps your losses small. You can take your small losses, but then all of a sudden you'll be like Babe Ruth, and you'll hit a home run. I mean, a big home run. Yeah. And put the money in your pocket.
Okay, brother. You're awesome, man. Thank you.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everyone? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Of course, as you used to say, TGIF. This is a good. We got some interesting stuff coming up this weekend. Not even necessarily in the market. If you guys are, combat sport fans, of course you have whatever the heck is going on with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul tonight. That's on Netflix. Doing a big watch party for that. And then tomorrow, I think John Jones fights Stipe, which is going to be awesome. Both of those guys a little bit older. It's just going to be good for the legacy of UFC. So a lot of interesting stuff going on this weekend, at least in the realm of sports. As far as the market's concerned, it was like fun while it lasted, right? And this is kind of to be expected, right? I mean, that exuberance post-election win was unbelievable, right? You do get some thing you could say is the trigger for this sell-off, which is going to be, some of the inflation reports and what Powell was saying, which is definitely legit. We're going to talk about that in a second here. But I mean, looking at the composite right now, all of this stuff is trying to chase that gap, right? I mean, it wants to get, now, of course, for Friday, you can get a reversal on Monday. Maybe this is where they want to sell it off and they say, hey, whatever. You could also get it where it goes back down further on Monday, and then we rally back up for the rest of the week. But in my opinion, there's the idea of Trump's back in charge. We're all going to make more money. I haven't heard of a good qualitative explanation for why that would be the case. There's still a lot of issues going on, at least with inflation, right? And okay, let's just talk about it because we already spoke about it. Wait a second. Oh, good, man. Okay. The big issue that you have here is legit core inflation. Core CPI. That's still strong. And then you get October retail sales topping estimates, new jobless claims low. What is the argument for lowering interest rates in December? And everyone's harping on what Powell said, we don't have to cut interest rates. He's been saying that forever, right? He just wants the data to come in. We've known this, that's nothing new, and I don't think that's cause for a sell-off. But what I do think is cause for caution, or if anyone has this belief, which a lot of people do, right, that we're going to get interest rate cuts in December, why? And I don't know, I'm in the minority of that for sure, but you still have a strong core inflation. Retail sales are strong, low jobless claims, everything I just said. So I'm not really sure where we get that. What will be nice is energy comes down, but again, that's not part of the core. Right? So anyways, I don't know. You are going to get some interesting stuff coming next year with a huge flood of super cheap EV vehicles. This might repress some, stuff at least regarding used cars and trucks. I mean, what are we at right here for that for October? Up 2.7, right? So still month over month, you're off 3.4, but that will weight it down a little bit, right? But I don't know. It's still very strong, and I don't see the cause for an interest rate cut beyond everyone just wants it to. And, if you don't get it, I mean, do you get it even further tank in the market? Just some crazy reaction. I mean, that's not, what the Fed's responsible for in any capacity, but I'm sure in some way it can factor into what they decide to do, especially when you're like on these really, really like tight spaces. So we have the composite off about 2.36%, trading at 18,656. The Dow Jones Industrial trading off 0.69% at 43,448. Yeah, the dollar very strong right now at 106.72, kind of flat but off about 0.03%. Crude oil coming down even sharper, off 2.53%, $66.96. You have the E-mini off about 1.44%, and then gold. We're still up on the year, but this is getting cracked down, right? You of course have a stronger dollar, but I think another thing we're starting to see, and this is going to become kind of more the case as more institutions and governments start adopting it. But I have this concept in my head that we are really seeing Bitcoin starting to fight gold right now, right? Obviously, you get elevated interest rates. Gold doesn't become as appealing in some cases. Obviously, a stronger dollar, same kind of deal. But even in the event, like you get the rest of the world not doing super well because of whatever Trump's going to implement, I don't think gold gets bought there. I think that this is a non-appreciating asset in some capacity, right? I mean, beyond what, the stock price movement here, or excuse me, the contract price movement. But Bitcoin itself is just such a rapidly appreciating asset. And with all these kind of concepts of adding, some kind of, federal or government reserve of crypto, I mean, that's going to elevate the price of Bitcoin even more. More people are going to want to get into that. That is more appealing than whatever's going on with gold, right? And so, you can get to a realm where instead of governments buying, gold, there's at least, Bitcoin's eating its lunch kind of in some capacity. And I think that'll become more apparent as the years go on, that that's kind of what's going on, and that's how people want to look at things like Bitcoin. But yeah, I mean, that's what I think we're seeing here in a major sense. But yeah, we're trading at 2,566. We come off this massive high of 2801, and just, we're getting back down to, August levels in this. And still, I mean, that's a good run this year for gold, but just the sell-off is really intense on it. I was joined by Tim Ord yesterday, and he's looking at movements, at least in the GDX, reaching the lower ends of their Bollinger Bands, and you get this reversal. If you want to check that out, you can go to our YouTube channel, Tiger Financial News Network. We have that video up. Make sure to like it, or consider liking it at least, and giving us a subscribe. But, he's seeing this at least in the GDX. This is obviously, we're looking at gold futures right now, but it's same kind of movements, right? Like we're touching the lower ends of the Bollinger Bands in a lot of these things. And that can sometimes signal a trend reversal. I do think that Bitcoin in some capacity, though, is contributing to what's going on with gold. And I think it suppresses, the movements you would usually see. Anyways, folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Jacob Shoup, you're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I was reading the chat on YouTube. What's going on, everyone? What is this thing I wanted to say? Oh, yeah, this is Jeff saying the video next week will determine all. Honestly, yeah, that's 100% going to be what the case is. So I think they're going to start reporting, essentially on demand for Blackwell, like going forward, right? And I am pretty, I don't want to say bullish on it, right? I just wonder how much more build out can be attained, right? I mean, when this was like running up for a while, I remember we were talking about on the show, how much more can these people buy, right? And build out. And you're getting to a point too where it's not so much like the processing that's becoming a massive issue, or like the training, right? It's just that, it is the training actually, right? Like we're not able to make bigger AIs right now. We're getting to a point where, what is that new one with Chat GPT? It's called like Orion or something like that, but it's not better than 4.0, right? Like they were reaching some kind of ceiling with training set data. And so, this stuff is going to get used basically for inference. And so there is a demand that way for Blackwell. And don't get me wrong, there are still people training AIs and stuff like that. And that's going to be going on for a very long time. But I think one of the really interesting things about this is it's like these Blackwells are going to kind of be fused together, like some of them, right? Like a dual die kind of concept, which is really going to reduce the energy needed for that, right? So I could definitely see people swapping out from a Hopper into Blackwell and everything. I just don't know, if there's going to be the level of exuberance for that, since there's already a massive buyout for Hoppers right now. But really, that is a total like cursory overview and kind of concept, right? It obviously gets a lot deeper than that. There's a lot of different chips that are coming out that are needed for certain reasons. It's going to specialize out. I mean, again, remember, GPUs are not built for AI in any capacity, and as things get better, right, people will start switching out for those kind of things. We'll see if NVIDIA can kind of respond with that. But yeah, I think that is NVIDIA off? It's pretty good today, right? Yeah, off 0.10%, trading at 142.22. But that's all right. I mean, in reality, you start seeing. I don't think looking at things like with what happened with ASML is a good example, right? What is other Applied Materials? They're having issues with that kind of stuff. These are just these kind of foundries, and they're going to be having issues for sure. But I think the demand, going forward for Blackwell will be pretty strong. People are also pointing at AMD And it's like, these aren't even the same company, like even slightly, right? So NVIDIA is killing it. These is like the only thing you're buying chips for, right? If you're getting into AI. So, I mean, there's some new stuff coming out with AMD as well. I think they're focusing on like a new CPU, which is what they're talking about, which is fine, but it just doesn't have that like, curb appeal, right? Of working with this. So yeah, they lay off 4% of their workforce. This is amid declining gaming sales and AI struggles. Again, advanced money destroyer, man. What are they doing that's going to allow them to compete with NVIDIA? And the answer is nothing. And they can go back and try to gain, some of the ground that NVIDIA ceded in gaming, right? I mean, keep in mind, NVIDIA was just a gaming company. You bought its material and you're building out your own video game. People realize, these GPUs work great. AMD's just talking about launching their new CPU that I think they're using to compete with, these are APUs, excuse me. Accelerated processing. But they're going to compete directly with Intel Lunar Lake, which honestly I think they probably will win because it doesn't seem like anything's changed over there. But, and then AMD's having issues with the Ryzen 7 burning motherboard. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on here. AMD, definitely stay away from that right now. NVIDIA, I think, regardless of what happens, will probably do well that day, right? If for whatever reason they say, hey, we don't actually see any demand for Blackwell going forward because everyone's already built out capabilities in the short term, then you're going to get some weird doomsday stuff, at least in the short term on the market. Well, yeah. How low are we going in this? This is 134 right now. What is this? Is that the low of the year? No, the low of the year is 116.37. Oh, no. See, that's in December. Yeah, okay. No, we are approaching that entirely. Yeah, AMD's in a tough spot right now. And it doesn't make sense that they're going to get, a massive amount of buy in the AI sphere in any capacity. Also, someone was asking too, China developing the cheap EVs, like just going back to that. Yeah, so there is that. Obviously, we're probably going to be tariffing that very heavily. But there's a lot of pre-owned EVs that are just getting sold off. I think Hertz has to sell off their entire fleet. You think about it as well, like with Toyota and whatnot, having all these EVs that nobody's buying in any way. Do you have to cut that just to get it off your hands? You don't want those laying around forever, not making any kind of capital off of it. But yeah, you get some weird stuff going on right now next year. This is you're seeing Lucid get cut today. Off 3.61, trading at $2. What is the whole thing? Yeah, they recalled 1,500 units over loss of drive power concerns, right on. And then Rivian, again, some big news with why these stocks are falling is the idea of Trump mulling over removing that tax credit, right? You have Rivian giving back every pump. Yeah, literally, that happened. I was like, let me just get out of this thing. And I didn't because, whatever. And then we come off, we're trading at 998, down 3.2%. And so this is even after, what that pump is essentially Volkswagen doubling down, right? Raised investment to $5.8 billion, so $800 million right onto that. But what is this valued at? Okay, only $10 billion right now. But these guys are gonna get smacked because of the tax credit. Yeah, they're super expensive. They're not even profitable right now, right? I think they're coming. I think they're coming for darker days ahead for sure. And I don't, know what that VW investment is going to do for them in any capacity. Yeah. So initial $1 billion convertible note. It's going to invest $1.3 billion for intellectual property licenses, an equity stake up to $3.5 billion, future equity notes, debt, all tied to specific milestones. And I'm curious too for how long intellectual property licenses, right? What that looks like. So is it only VW can use this in addition to Rivian? If that's the case, how long does that last for? One of Rivian's kind of edge that they're gonna have at some point, hopefully, is the OS that they have in the car, right? They can rent that out or license that out to other vehicle makers. And if they can, I gotta look closer at what that. If anyone knows, go ahead and type that to me. But yeah, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem for Rivian if they're only able to license out to VW. And VW is having issues of their own anyways. What a weird thing. I really had a short time here, so I'm going to take a look at Qubit, which is why I was going to YOLO it yesterday, but I'm not going to right now. It's because I thought I was going to do something like this, off 32.39. I was saying in the den yesterday, I mean, that's crazy. It gave up nearly like 110 million in market cap. It's unbelievable how quickly this moved. I mean, seriously. Honestly, I think it was actually at 440 earlier. But you have these one price target for it from some kind of trade house at $8, right? But the more I was like looking into this, I was like, wait a minute, like photonics integrated chips, that's the future, man. We don't have to worry about the power draw. We don't even need to have a double die for Blackwell if we start using photonics as opposed to, electrons. Crazy stuff. They still don't have anyone except for one research lab in Asia, but hey, we'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry October 11th and 25th for more live trading action. Your purchase goes towards 2 sessions, so make sure to sign up now so you don't miss a chance to sit next to Larry as he trades the market live. For all information and reserve your spot today, go to the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
What's going on, everyone? Jacob Shoup, you're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Take a look at Qubit right now, off about 32.61% after a meteoric rise, all the way up to $4.86 $2.69 for this year, trading right now at $2.96. And yeah, Fletch, you're 100% right. I mean, that adds to it as well, right? They have a 40 million stock offering that they offered right after this kind of stuff. But like here, I don't know, like I like this stuff, and I need someone probably to like throw water on my face and like smack me, because the idea of, you know, this thin film lithium niobate, is it going to be adopted very soon? So the whole idea with this, one of the major problems that you're having with chips right now, right, is they have to, you know, communicate with one another, right? And that requires a lot of energy. And this is why we were even talking about, you know, a future with uranium and SMRs, because the way that chips communicate via, like, you know, electrons now is it's not inefficient, it just draws a bunch of power. Additionally, stacking like more transistors on the thing is becoming increasingly more difficult. So, you know, there's been some like novel ways to deal with that, obviously, of course, with Blackwell, what we were talking about, and then with Cerebrus, using the wide scale, you know, wafers. But with this, it's like photon integrated chips, right? They don't communicate with electrons. They use photons, right? And it's good because you get a particle and a wave kind of vibe going on there, you know. So it's more efficient in transmitting energy, therefore more efficient translating information. But you don't even have to worry about transistors on that thing, because they'll use like lasers or something, right? And this is a whole broad new, you know, or, you know, it's a new realm entirely. And so it seems like you're really getting a lot of research into them right now, but we're so far away from any kind of realm where we're like mass producing photon integrated chips. Now, probably in my amateur opinion, because I'm not a chip maker or designer or anything like that, it seems like it's going to make more sense way down the line to be using PICs, again, for that energy cost reason. And it becomes more efficient as well. You can scale up higher without the need to somehow figure out how to pack more transistors onto the thing. So, I mean, quantum computing is very interesting. It seems like they're the only company in the US doing thin film lithium niobate. China does a lot of that, but, you know, we wouldn't be making our stuff here, man. 100%. So kind of neat. I really am tempted to like just buy an inordinate amount of this thing. Like maybe I wanted to shake out a little bit more and then just kind of wait and see, like 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line. Of course, you probably will get some periods of massive movement like that as well, which is going to be dependent on whether or not they gain new clients and everything. But, you know, I believe the group that bought, you know, they got an order from them is just a research unit. There's nothing to do, as far as I'm concerned, right now in an enterprise setting. You know, it's nascent stages. So anyways, kind of interesting. I mean, it is battling too. You know, it's still at $3, right? So I mean, you got down in there, you're still very happy right now. So yeah, qubit, quantum computing, off 32.16%, trading at $2.99, oscillating to $3. Kind of neat stuff. We'll see what happens. Oh, you know, well, here. This might be a good, weird little segue into this. Next week, we're going to talk some more about that. But you have some big, big stuff. Obviously, NVIDIA on Wednesday. You have Snowflake on Wednesday. You have Target on Wednesday. And then really Palo Alto, which we're going to take a closer look at. But Tuesday at Lowe's and Walmart and all that kind of stuff. Is there anything cool on Monday? Trip.com? Not really. Still, NVIDIA is such a big juggernaut that it's not going to matter anyways. You get into it on Thursday. But some interesting stuff, since we talk about this sometimes on here, with some cybersecurity, and it's Friday, right? I mean, what are we prepping to do for the end of the day here? This is from Palo Alto. They actually have, I like bringing these up to you because it's just so insane. And really to drive home how important it is that we get more, you know, security savvy people into these positions. But I don't think this is probably going to affect them in any capacity. This is kind of just like normal part and parcel. But who knows? Maybe you're working with it or something like that and you didn't hear anything like that. But so this is their like severity list. They found basically a big security risk, which allowed people just to execute code or commands without any kind of like credential input into firewall management, which is terrible. So the severity, they gave this a 9.3, kind of crazy stuff. And this is why really I do believe like cybersecurity gets, better and better with the advent of like AI, some of these things like Juniper, you're able just to set everything up itself, right? And it just runs itself and its own seam and it kind of like does this stuff. But the more we develop these kind of, systems, especially in data centers, the more these kind of vulnerabilities kind of come out. I don't know. I thought this was just kind of interesting to talk about for the day. And so I'm going to probably try to do a deeper dive for Palo Alto next week, most likely on Monday, and then look at Snowflake and NVIDIA as well, of course. All right, let's talk just a tad about Disney. I am very tempted just to sell Disney. I'm making a profit again. That is insane, actually. Making a profit again, it's good. They actually really did do quite well with their streaming, which I didn't anticipate like at all. Let me see if I can get this up. Yeah, so revenue increased 6% to $22.6 billion from $21.2 billion a year prior. 3% for the year, $91.4 billion, $88.9 billion. EPS increased 79 cents, is unreal. Achieved strong 23% growth in total segment operating income for Q4 and 21% for the year. 39% growth in adjusted EPS to $1.14 from 82 cents. The mouse awakens, guys. What the heck? Entertainment DTC delivered 14% ad revenue growth in Q4, contributing to $253 million in operating income, and combined DTC streaming business improved their profitability in Q4. And so it entered the quarter with 174 million Disney Plus members and Hulu subscriptions included, 120 million Disney Plus core paid subscribers, which is 4.4 million over the prior quarter, which is nuts. Movies did well for them and stuff like that. The sports segment is doing massive as well. That's partly why I think Netflix isn't such a good thing. I mean, them having this fight tonight on Netflix is massive. And I think we're going to start seeing more deals, signed with some of these streaming services to have them on there. And you look out for that because when you hear it, you want to get in. I mean, we even saw with Paramount, one of the only things that was floating them, right, was, whatever kind of sports segments they had on. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Yeah, welcome back, folks. Let's take a look at what Z said in the den. That quantum computing plan, 40 million direct offering, 16 million shares at $2.50. Proceeds will be used for debt repayment, working capital, and general corporate purposes. Right on. What is their debt right now, out of curiosity? Let me pull this up. Oh my God, I really cannot type on Fridays. It's like unbelievable to me. Okay, because if it pays off enough, right? I mean, dang, like you could have some pretty cool stuff going for it. I mean, again, they just got their first contract, but here, let's see here. Let's see. This is the one from September 30th. I don't know where the other one is. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, they don't have that many liabilities compared to total assets, which is actually pretty good. Yeah, total liabilities around what, 10 million? And total assets is 76 million. Accounts payable at 923 million, which is a contraction at least from December of last year. This is reporting September 30th, 2024. I'll have to find the most recent one, but that'd be kind of cool. Well, they'll get some more money, be able to actually probably expand out a little bit more as well, since it doesn't seem like they have that much they need to worry about, I guess in regards to their total assets and stuff like that. Kind of cool. And current assets for them. Yes. Okay, so their total, so this is closer actually here. I think it's 3.9 million for their total currents for assets, and then liabilities, it is a closer kind of deal of around 2.4 million. Yeah. Anyways, interesting. We'll see how that stock does. Disney, yeah, what Jeff was saying in YouTube as well, like hold that one. I mean, it seems like they are turning around in some capacity. This is like very nice. They're beating that gap down on very decent volume, which is great to see. I think for me at least, it's just like I got so burned for so long on this thing, and I just wanted to get out of it. I haven't gotten out of it yet, and really, if you just have a portfolio that you just want to keep the money in, you kind of want to forget about it. Disney is like no doubt something that needs to be involved with that. I think some of this restructuring that they're doing, like culturally, is going to be very positive for them going forward. But my mindset is, and I'm going to have to wait some more, keep some more time. But if we still get this like pretty strong bullish trending market, obviously we're having reversal this week in some capacity. But if we run this thing into like December or something like that, you're going to get these insane pops on earnings of things like Rocket Labs or whatever, And I'm at a point where I'd be fine taking some kind of risk on that if I feel like like Rocket Labs made sense, right? I mean, maybe not how like meteoric it was. And you get other companies too, right? Like what's ASTS, Space Mobile, these guys are getting eviscerated today. It actually is truly amazing to me how many people have held in here, right? This is a meme stock, We had this run up think we were talking about like taking a short position in it for the next few weeks, which worked. You know, if you did that, came right back down to that $20 level, and we're just gonna hit it again. But I am still trying to wrap my head around. I mean, I understand why Rocket Labs like moves up and why it's like a valuable company, but it seems like we're building out like the near Earth or like low orbit rather satellite capability a lot more, which makes sense, right? Definitely with things like what we just saw with the hurricanes and using Starlink. I mean, that's all low Earth orbit kind of stuff, right? And I think more people want to get into something similar. I know Apple is working with GSAT to get some stuff up in there as well. But it's neat. I think, what is it? Going to be Rocket Labs. Oh, I can't remember the company. Lunar. They're going to go to the moon and back or something, right? Intuitive Machines. Yeah, you're up 18% right now. Trading at $12.08. So there's a lot of stuff kind of developing in the space sector in kind of a funny way, right? I mean, this, at least from what I understand with like what's going on with low orbit satellites, this is what Starlink does, you know. And you have like, do I have MS Paint on this thing? Yeah, let's do this. Like the way it works, like in the past, okay, you got Earth. Oh, that's horrible. That's fine though. And, you know, let's say you have a high orbit satellite up here, right? Whenever you get the receiver here, and this thing will be kind of like in a tidal lock, right? With the low Earth orbit, which is kind of what, you know, Starlink is doing, what I think a lot of these other satellites are going to do as well. It doesn't stay locked in orbit the way that like high orbit does. And so, you know, you have you right here trying to receive stuff, right? And you get this big chain of them all the way around. And they kind of just stay there, right? And they move a little bit, but this is so bad. This is like ridiculous. But the more you travel around here, these things, you lose, right, connection like in these kind of areas because, you know, you're not, you know, let's say you're like looking there, right, in between two satellites, you don't get anything, right? So you get latency issues. This is a big problem. And I think what Starlink is doing that is kind of interesting, and I want to read more about it, but you essentially, like these, the one you're looking at, right, that you're closest to or that you're going to is going to link up with these ones around it and kind of open up like a session for you. And so that eliminates a lot of the problems you had with like low Earth orbit satellites. And so I think you're seeing just this really new novel kind of realm in space travel, you know? No, we're not going to say that. Oh, good. Did I just exit out of my Thinkorswim? Anyways, I think it is kind of cool. And so like things like Rocket Labs coming back makes like a ton of sense in a major way. Let me get back into Thinkorswim here. And of course you have NASA going for like Mars missions, like really trying quite hard to do that. And so it'd be kind of cool to see how this all operates. My security code here. Okay. Anyways, yeah, some stuff to talk about for the day there. All right, let's take a look at what else we have going on right here. We talk a little bit about Anduril. And this, you know, what I've always said, I love Anduril, but sadly it's a private company, you know. But if you want something that is like Anduril and is public, you go for Palantir, right? So Palantir might be getting added to the NASDAQ. I mean, this really is such an amazing movement. You know, I sold around like that $55, $54 level. But this movement up to $64.96, it's really amazing to see this kind of wake up, and it is destroying the shorts in a major way. But you have Palmer Luckey, that's the Anduril CEO. Oh, sorry, this is Brian Schimpf, but Luckey is up there as well. But he's saying, I think the reality is probably in one of the biggest periods of geopolitical uncertainty, instability we've seen in our lifetime. He thinks that the Trump administration is going to recognize that essentially and dump a bunch of money into the kind of these capabilities. Now, Anduril is most famous for what they're doing on the border, right? But of course, they're getting contracts from the Air Force to create like motherships and stuff like that. The point of all of this is this kind of integrated data system. That's why Anduril is so great. It doesn't matter what kind of other products they make, is that they can all get integrated and communicate with each other and create something that's actionable. That's what Palantir is doing. Then we get Palantir again moving into enterprise. by a massive amount. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I just saw this article posted. It seems like Elon Musk's XAI is raising up to $6 billion to purchase 100,000 NVIDIA chips for a Memphis data center. Pretty cool. 100,000 NVIDIA chips for sources. Tesla's full self-driving is expected to rely on the new Memphis supercomputer. Wow, that's kind of a crazy concept. Is it going to be centralized like that? That's kind of nuts. Interesting. It was just kind of cool to see how that works out anyways. Jeff talking like with Pfizer too. Interesting play, man. I mean, you get all these. Now, this might, you might actually have a dip opportunity here, like in Pfizer, in Lilly. I mean, this stock gets beaten, and then Lilly as well, Novavax, and a lot of this, it's the RFK contingency. Is it possible that he's saying no way he gets in? I mean, very true. And if he doesn't, you get a reversal on these guys for sure, right? Because the fear is completely gone on it. That's actually pretty cool. That's a cool idea. I don't know. I wonder when do we figure out if they get in? Do you know, Jeff? That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, trading at 24.48 right now, and Pfizer off 5.42. If RFK gets in and he does what he wants to do, these stocks take a beating. Obviously, he's like vax skeptic or denier or whatever you call it. He wants to have cheaper pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. And that could be a pretty big doomsday for these kind of stocks if he's able to do it. But that is such an insane if, and in any capacity, people can't, have that much power in this country. And we'll see what happens. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today, slugging through this with me. TGIF, as Tom said. We're going to see you Monday morning, 9 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien in the morning market kickoff. I hope you all have a great weekend. Let's pray for a reversal next week, and we'll keep making those gains. Take care. We'll see you then.
Building wealth